Assalamu alaikum everyone. This is Rubel. Today we will learn how to write test case for load testing for database, how to configure JMeter with MySQL. So is going to be the live server, and how to execute test and analyze the report. So this is the task that we will cover today. So it will be a little longer than usual. So let me go to the Jira. Like this is the new requirement we have. As we learned so far that how we write the test case for functional test case, and while our code right now in UAT. So before we push all the code in the production, we have to do the performance testing. So, and performance testing must be done in lower environment, meaning QA environment, UAT environment, before it goes to production. So let me give you the overview, like what we are going to do. Okay, let me go back to the slide again. So for the load testing, we already learned about, let me show you here. So this is the database. We already learned how to retrieve the product details, right? So this is the query we ran and give the product details. So this, I'm the only one user here, and we just want to test the server. So this MySQL, like this data is coming from the server. Like this is the server that I'm hosting in the AWS, and all the information is coming from this server. So if I am only send this request from MySQL, right? I'm only sending one person. So that will be different behavior if like 100 user send the data same time. Like right now I have a few products there, and I am visiting to my website and see the product. What about if 100 user same time going to my website and see the product? So that means we need to put the load to the server for 100 user, and we will give time. Okay, 100 user, when they send the request, so that means they want to see the product, and the response, the server should give the response back to the website with the given time. Okay, so let's analyze the user story that given by business, and let me go to the Agile. So this is the new requirement. So this is the performance testing. So let me expand that. DEM editors, this one should be, yeah. Okay, so it's a, as an admin user, I should able to retrieve product information from database in given user and duration information. Okay, so that is written by product owner, right? If we don't understand the title, we can ask them, okay, can you please, modify or give a little bit more clarification of the title. And so then she will groom it and give the time, like how much time it will take for us to do the performance testing. But right, I mean, this user story is coming from the product owner or business. And also the acceptance criteria. Since this is the performance testing, so you say, okay, when we are going to use the customer, we are going to see when 100 users search the product same time, and duration is 1 second. So that means one person send the request to the server for that product to see the product, and server should respond with the product details within 1 second. So that is the requirement. So if it is take more than 1 second, then we have to report to the developer that, hey, server take long time, it take more than 1 second, and so we need to increase the performance. So that is the requirements. So based on these, as a tester, we have to write the test case. So where we write the test case, as we learned before, all our test case is in test rail. Okay. So let me see. So this one is the EM82. So I have to go to the test rail. Test case and DEM82. DEM82 test case, test run. Let me see where I put it. Test case again. Performance I thought I ran. Okay, hold on. It's here, the test case. So C51, but why I'm not seeing there? C51. Yes, yeah, this one. So UAT. So we are we are going to do the performance test on the UAT. So if I click on it, so as a tester, based on the user story, we write our test case. So, the performance testing only, configuration will take a lot of time because it's a lot of configuration that we have to do in the JMeter side. So like we need a lot of information since this is the database. And so that's why I try to put, put everything together to make life easier. So in precondition, we must need a test data, right? So the test data we learn from the user story that it will be 100 user and there will be 1 second delay. So that means one request is sent to the server, it will delay for 1 second, then another request sent, and then duration will be 1000 milliseconds. So 1000 millisecond will be response time. So meaning I send request to the server and server should respond my request in 1 second. Okay, so that is the test data. Now, since we are going to use MySQL as a database server, right? Our MySQL is hosted in the server. We are using MySQL as a database. So in the database for the MySQL, so this is the information, like this is the URL that must be available. So the connection should be, this is like, database connection, clone, MySQL clone, then put the slash, and then Jdbc clone MySQL, then double slash. So from here till here, it will be your connection database URL. So that means this information will given by database administrator from your company, or it will be given by a developer. I mean, whoever knows, right? It must be given. And port number 3306. So let me go to my database, which hosted in AWS. You see, this is the database, and this is the UAT, UAT1. So if I expand, and this is my username, and this is the endpoint. So this is the URL. So this information, and this is the port number. So this information will given to us by a database administrator or developer. I mean, we must need that information. And also in JMeter, we will see the Jdbc, like the driver class should be like this. Then we have to provide the username, password. So this information we must need. And also, in order for us to make a connection between JMeter and MySQL, we must need one plugin, and plugin name is MySQL Connector for Java. Okay, so this, let me finish the precondition first, and this is the steps. You see, at the end, the expected results, the verify if product details is retrieved within 1 second for 100 concurrent user, right? So this is the verification. And from step 1 to 6, you see is the as I said, the JMeter configuration performance test is nothing but you have a lot of configuration you have to do. So we will follow all those steps. So for now, let me last time we already installed JMeter to our system. So only thing we need is plugin. So MySQL connector. So you can Google it, MySQL connector, then download connector here, and you will be landing to this page. Select your operating system. I always go for platform independent, right? So I can choose the platform independent, then select the GIF archive, download, and no thanks. So it will be on your download folder. So now these very important steps that we have to do this on. So now we double click, it will unzip it. So from whole file, we just need one file, this MySQL connector Java. So you can copy this on, and we have to put it in the library folder in JMeter. So this is our JMeter. We start our JMeter from here. So we can just expand here, or just click on that folder, select the folder, and right click and paste item here. So MySQL connector Java is there. So now, so we pretty much, and also we already have the database the server information. So this is the server. So I am going to put this on the side for now. So now let's make a okay, so test user, no, here UAT. So I'm going to put our test rail test case steps on the side, and also I have to bring my fire up the, okay, let me put this on the side. Okay, so now give me 1 second. So now I'm going to open the JMeter. So I can go to the bin folder where I am, JMeter, Apache JMeter. Click on the bin folder. Don't see it. Okay, download Apache JMeter. Go to bin. So right click, open terminal here, and I would say sh JMeter, jmeter.sh. Spelling wrong. So it will open the JMeter for me. Okay, so let me, I don't need this window anymore, and let me bring the JMeter on the side. Let me put this, try to, come on, go this side here. Okay, let me put on the side by side. So we are going to execute step by step. Open JMeter, we done it. Right click on test plan, add config element. Then we have to provide the JDBC connection configuration. So right click, add, then config element, JDBC connection. Okay, so we have to configure this JDBC connection. It's an enter variable name for the create pool as load test. So let me copy this. So variable name for create pool, I am going to paste it here. Then enter database URL. So I am going to leave this on as a default like this. So database URL. So now I have to grab my database URL, share, and this is the live server, right? If your database is in your local, so you have to provide like the database information for the local. So we provide the URL, then select JDBC driver class as com.mysql.jdbc.driver. So that means, so this should be the driver class. So if I just click on it, I don't say anything, but if I expand on the right side, it's still the first one, right? com.mysql.jdbc driver. Then I have to provide the username. So my username is dbmaster. And my password, I'm not going to share my password with you. Okay, so I have to provide the password here. Then enter password. So we done configuration, the connection configuration, JDBC connection configuration is done. So now step number 3, right click on test plan again. So I'm going to right click, add, then thread group, threads, thread group, and we have to configure again. So number of thread. So as I say, number of thread means how many user we want to, how many user will send the request. So we say 100. User, and ramp up period is 1 second, and loop count is on. So as I say, like 100 user, right? So the first user will send the request to the server. It will wait 1 second. So that is the ramp up period. So that means it will wait 1 second. Then second request will be sent to the server. Then it will wait another 1 second. So we are saying, okay, is request sent to the database server, we have to wait 1 second in order for to send the second request. So that is here. So I think we are done with the configuration for step 3. So the steps number 4, right click on, right click on thread group. So I have to right click on thread group, add sampler, then JDBC request. Since this is the we are testing the database, so we have to provide the JDBC, right? So JDBC request, and we say, okay, rename get customer information. So since we are going to retrieve the customer information, it is better if we provide the useful name, right? So I provide the get customer information here, but it's not changed here, right? So what you have to do, just click anywhere in this panel, so it will get update here. So now we have to configure this page by, okay, it's a variable name of pool. So as we see in the JDBC connection, we create a variable name. So we have to copy from here, and variable name pool, we have to, this is very important because this load test will get the information from this configuration, because this JDBC configuration has all the information here. Okay. Oh, okay. One thing, I'm so sorry. That's the database URL I just provide, but as I say, we have to provide database, right? I'm missing the connection. So it should be database connection hyphen. See, so I have to provide here. So database connection, MySQL, then JDBC, hold on. It shouldn't be like this. Here. So JDBC colon MySQL colon, then slash, then we also have to provide the name of the database. So let me go to our database. As we know, our database name is Bitnami WordPress, right? So Bitnami WordPress is our schema name or the database name. So what I have to do, provide the slash here. So I think that it's very important that we have to provide the database URL. So JDBC clone MySQL clone slash, then the server name and the database name. So that should be okay now. So now, now what we are going to, what we are trying to do here, we try to retrieve the product details, right? So now let me go back to the database. And if we run this query here, we see the return, right? So we are going to use the same query in the, here. We have to provide the query here. So let me see if I have a query written here. So I do have it here. Let me copy. Momentum V. Okay, so we have to provide the query here. So now right click on get customer info, add assertion. So now we have to provide the the condition, I mean the assertion, right? So that that like when it's run, so it will know like where, like how much time it should take. So okay, right click on get customer info, then assertion, duration, assertion, and duration in millisecond, we say 1000. So 1000 millisecond is equal to 1 second, right? So that part is done. So duration assertion, I'm done. So now we have to monitor the result or analyze the results. So there we have to add the listener. So right click on thread group, add listener, and I would say view result tree on, and another one I'm going to use for assertion, listener assertion results. So okay, so I think we are done. Right, the thread group, add listener, view result trees, but I also add the assertion results to see the assertion failure. So I think we done pretty much. So now what I'm going to do, let's run to see if it is working or not. You save your test plan before running. Here it is, yeah. So I can save it to desktop. I would say the name is DB for performance test. You can give any name, that's not. Okay, so save. So now let's see if it is working. Oh, it is not working. What is that? Too many connection. Cannot create a pool. Connection factory data. So it looks like it's a lot of connection. You see, so our query is working. Duration assertion, right? So that means our connection is working. That's good sign. So let me see. Assertion results. You see, like we also have a lot of different error, but we are concentrate right now is it's for the duration. So we have assertion results. It's the operation lasted too long, E2, 1365 millisecond, but should not have lasted longer than 1000 millisecond, right? So that means our test is failed. I would say like more than 50% test is failed and is took more than 1 second. So now if we want to try to pass this assertion, what we can do, we would say increase this to 2000, 2 seconds. Let's see if it should pass some of them in 2 seconds, because as you see, is 1350, right? Let me see result tree. So 1315, then we have 1870, right? So we have a lot of under 2 seconds. So let me clear this up, how we can clear. So you see the brush here. So if you mouse hover, it's a clear all, and this is clear. So we are going to clear all. So now everything should be empty. So now I'm going to run again. So right now expectation is a lot of requests should pass. So looks like it's a lot of them should pass. Okay, it's not pass. For 2000 millisecond is 2 seconds. Okay, result tree. Okay, let me count to 10. Maybe my server is taking my server may be very busy. Wait a minute, why? Oh, okay. I'm so sorry. Okay, so as you see, I think I did not follow 100%, 100% my test execution. So as you see, I put the query in the wrong place, right? So I say on the step number 4, right click on thread group, add sampler JDBC request, then get info, customer info. That's what I do, what we did. Then we have to configure this, right? We say variable name should be pool, is there. Query type selected, query type should be selected, but this query must be here, but I put the query here. So you have to delete query from here and provide here. Okay, so now try. So clear everything. So let me see, I put 2010. Okay, so now let me run it again. Nice. So you see, sometimes it happened, like I do have a steps, but I didn't follow 100%. You see, it does sometimes if we do not follow the steps, we may get weird results, and we create a problem, and we don't know where the problem is. So now let's go back to the original scenario, which is we should have 100 user, and duration should be 1 second. This is 1000 millisecond. Let me clear everything. So thread group and run. Okay, so as I said, like we have a different error, but we don't care. Like this one here, say, the server, we sent like 100 requests concurrently, but server is complaining, no, it's too much, right? So that is one of the reason. But right now we are trying to solve the problem for 1 second on, right? So as you see, some of them is message is okay, and some of them has get customer info. If I click on it, it's a duration assertion. It's it took 1001 millisecond, but should not have lasted longer than 1000 millisecond. So if I go to assertion error, I do see lot of assertion errors. So it took like 1011 millisecond, 1009 millisecond, 1020 millisecond, right? So this like lot of tests, a lot of requests take more than 1 second. So let me see the average, like 1014, 31, and looks like 31 is the most, right? So if I put the duration is 1300, 1.3 second, lots of requests should be passed. Okay, so let me clear, send request again, view result tree. You see all the assertion duration is passed. Only thing is fail is because we send about 100 threads that server say I can handle 100 requests same time. But if I reduce to 50, let me see if it is still failed. You see, it's not failing for 50, right? So, but that is the different scenario. But our scenario looks like our server is not able to handle on second. That is our user story. So what we can do in this case, we can download this report. So we can download the report and and give the screen capture to the developer. Hey, the server take more than 1 second to respond. So it's a lot of if we send 100 concurrent user and so lots of requests are failed. So developer will enhance their development, and after that we have to do the performance again till we satisfy our requirement. So that's how we do performance testing for the database. Okay, thank you.